Greetings to you all, wherever you are, at home or abroad. You're now tuned into Talk Sense Media, your voice of reason in the noise. Here we bring you the news that matters to you, straight talk, clear facts, and honest reasoning, because you deserve to understand what's really going on. Whether it's headlines or what's happening on the streets, if it affects you or your community, we break it down and we talk sense. So let's get into today's story. Did Andrew Holness steal his seat, or did he win fair and square in the September 3rd general election? That's the big question swirling around right now. And today in this video, I want you to join me as we dig into the facts to make sense of exactly what's happening and to lay out things so that every single person can understand. Whether you're a JLP or a PNP, doesn't matter. If we're going to move forward as a country, we need to be informed, and I am hoping that this video will provide some sense of what exactly is happening so that you will leave more informed and understand the process better. So the election has ended and the opposition leader conceded.
All the people of Jamaica who are listening, watching, first of all, I think it's my duty as a believer in democracy to acknowledge and concede the result and to congratulate our opponents, the Jamaica Labour Party, for their victory tonight. It is very, very important that we put democracy ahead of all of those feelings. And I accept the result of these elections. And although obviously I'm very disappointed in the outcome, I think it is only correct to expressly acknowledge the success that our opponents have managed to gain today.
He said the people have spoken and democracy has won. Yet, Paul Buchanan has filed an appeal to void the September 3rd poll in St. Andrew West Central. So clearly, something isn't adding up. Now, what's even more puzzling is that the PNP announced back then that they would not be seeking a recount based on legal advice.
The advice that we have received from our lawyers who attended the final counts is that a magisterial recount is unlikely to change the outcome in any of the seats.
And yet somehow, based on what we are seeing, all the focus is on Holness' seat.
In the case of West Central St. Andrew, however, the nature of the irregularities which took place there is being carefully scrutinized in anticipation of a case being brought to the constituted authority for appropriate relief.
So let's try and make sense of all of what is happening. Let's break it down. The PNP is claiming irregularities, intimidation, and ballot box delays. And they're doing all of this without providing a single piece of official report from polling agents inside the stations, or anybody for that matter. And so there's a serious question that arises. Is this challenge based on facts, or is it just hearsay designed to cast doubt on Holness once again? Is it a witch hunt? Because as I see it, and many other Jamaicans see it, their actions simply don't make sense. What the PNP is doing doesn't make any sense at all. So let's delve a little bit deeper to understand what's really happening. And for us to do so, we must look at the numbers since 2011 general elections. The fact of the matter is that Andrew Holness has consistently held West Central St. Andrew. In 2011, Holness went up against Patrick Roberts. Holness got 7,799 votes to Patrick Roberts' 6,760. In 2016, same thing happened. Patrick Roberts against Holness. This time, Holness got 6,933 votes, while Roberts got 5,875 votes. In 2020, for the third time, Holness was challenged by Patrick Roberts again. Andrew Holness got 7,199 votes compared to Patrick Roberts' 3,925. And here comes 2025. And all of a sudden, there is this deep concern. What has changed? What's so different? Let's look at the numbers. Holness got 7,054 votes compared to Buchanan 4,953. So over the past decades, Holness has always come out on top. The only close margin was in 2011, and every other election he won by thousands of votes. Are you following what's going on? So how is it that the PNP has zeroed in on this one seat, claiming irregularities without presenting any formal evidence, not even an ounce of evidence? As you can see, the margin isn't unusual, which means that it cannot be just about the votes. It is most likely a strategic move This challenge seemed less about overturning the results and more about shaping public perception, which is creating a narrative that Holness somehow stole the election. But where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? The PNP has been relentless in trying to undermine the credibility and the character of the Prime Minister. And this follows their failed attempt to use the Integrity Commission in what many saw as a smear campaign. But you know what's more dangerous this time around? Is that they are willing to cast doubt on the electoral process itself and is questioning the electoral office, despite its proven track record and strong efforts to keep elections free and fair. The PNP seem willing to destroy every single organization and every single entity in its quest to undermine Andrew Holness and try to gain power. So let's look at the challenge by Buchanan. What are the possible outcomes? What are the two main routes that he might take? Because there are two. First, you have the constitutional authority. So a candidate can file complaints about irregularities, intimidation, or delays, and the constituted authority has 14 days to decide. If they don't find any serious problems, the election will stand. However, if irregularities are proven, a by-election will be called. Honestly, I think the PNP is taking this approach to drag out the process as long as they can to keep it in the mainstream media so that the perception will grow and fester. Because the PNP knows very well that perception sometimes is even greater or has more effect than reality. Most likely, the constituted authority will say they found nothing wrong. But the PNP has a second option, which I think they will use to achieve the mandate. And this time they're going to go to the Supreme Court. So through an election petition, the court can uphold the election, void it, and order a by-election, or in rare cases, declare the other candidate the winner. So in short, the constituted authority is a quick review, and the court is way more powerful and is the final path. But in this case, the challenge, as I indicated before, seemed less about the law and more about politics, which is aimed at sowing doubt around Holness while leaving the other PNP targeted constituencies untouched. Because remember, they say they will not seek a recount because based on legal advice, it wouldn't make any sense. So it seems like there's a continuous plot to undermine Andrew Holness, and the PNP seem willing to do whatever it takes to go hell and high water to destroy the credibility of Andrew Holness, because clearly it's too much of a strong force. And everybody knows if you want to weaken an organization, if you get rid of the head who is very strong, then you're going to create instability within that organization, as they will have to struggle to regroup, to find themselves, to find a leader. And this seems to be the strategy that the PNP is willing to employ, despite the fact that using this form or this tactic before failed them. But they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So having heard what you heard, so what do you think? Is this a genuine fight for fairness? Is it about maintaining political stability? Is it about ensuring credibility? Or is it simply designed to destroy the one man that they believe is standing in their way, in their path? Comment below, share this video, and subscribe to my channel as well. And as always, remember, this is Talk Sense Media, your voice of reason in the noise.